Hello, listeners. Welcome to Is This the Norm? I'm Rebecca.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Lora. Thank you, Rebecca. So today I'm going to take you all the way over to the Bay of Bengal, which is surrounded by India, Bangladesh, Malaysia, Indonesia. There's a big bay there. And inside this bay, there's a string of islands. This string of islands has two names. They split them north and south. The north is called the Andaman Islands, and the south is the Nicobar Islands, and they separate them because there's differences in the indigenous people and the ecosystems there. Ecosystems, however you want to say it. And these islands are a part of the country, India. One particular island that we're going to talk about today is called North Sentinel Island. It's part of the Andaman group of islands, and it is special to the government of India, and it's set aside to be protected. Now, the indigenous people who live on this island are called the Sentinelese tribe, and they've been on North Sentinel Island possibly 60,000 years. There's debate on how long they've inhabited the island, but this 60,000 year span is the most common estimate. And it's believed that they traveled from land bridges from mainland Asia when the sea levels were low, and they could have used like simple boats to get there. The Sentinelese tribe is often described as hostile and dangerous. And the more that I did research on this island and truly learned about them, I would not classify them as hostile and dangerous. I would just say that they're really intelligent warriors who protect their tribe. And I think by the end of the story, you'll probably agree with me. And there's been little contact with the outside world by this tribe because, well, if you get close to their island, they will kill you. The Indian government actually monitors this island continuously, and their approach is an eyes-on, hand-off approach. They use the Coast Guard to monitor this island, and they have a really strict law set in place that there's no allowed within 5 nautical miles of the island, which is about 6 miles or 9 kilometers. That includes sea and air travel. So the Sentinelese people do see commercial planes fly over when travelers fly from mainland India to the Andaman Islands. So it's not like they have no idea that, things exist that are advanced. But since there's these strict regulations, they keep these planes at a good distance away, although there has been unintentional sightings. But when you're flying from mainland to the other islands in that string of islands, you have to be sitting on the right side of the plane, as in not the left side, to catch a glimpse of them. And that only happens if they so happen to be like out on the coastline or, somewhere where you could see them. So the sightings are very, very rare. And there's not a lot of information on how these people live or even how many people inhabit the island because no one's really been there. They guess there could be anywhere from 50 to 400 tribal members on the island. So they have no idea. They also believe that they're hunters and gatherers, and they live off the plants and the animals on the island and that they fish the waters. Some resources say they eat wild pigs, but other resources say there's no pigs on the island. Nobody really knows anything for certain, and we probably never will. In the 1970s, prior to the Indian government putting these laws to protect the island, anthropologists would go to the island and bring gifts of pigs, dolls, coconuts to gain friendly contact with the tribe, but the tribe members would kill the pigs and bury them, which is obviously showing a rejection of the peace offering. So maybe this is where they got the idea that there were pigs on the island. I'm not sure. One thing we do know is the Sentinelese people came from mainland Asia, and that's because of the indirect genetic testing. There was one occasion where the Sentinelese people encountered outsiders during a visit from a group of anthropologists. And within this group was Madhumala Chattopadhyay. I am probably not saying it very well. She was an Indian native woman she was spared an arrow because she was a woman. So the Sentinelese tribe is very protective of their women. And when they saw a woman present, they saw it as more of a sign of peace than a threat. Her team brought coconuts as gifts, and they accepted them. Lala even got out of the boat and into the water, handing the coconuts to the tribe members. And she did return another time, but the Indian government prohibited any further contact in fear of disease spreading to the tribe and wiping them out. Because, of course, they have no immunity to, our diseases and grossness. So there have been tribes in the neighboring islands that have been wiped out by disease, and it's suspected that the Sentinelese tribe is aware of this and may be one of the reasons that they're hostile to outsiders, which makes sense. So from interactions with this tribe, that's where they were able to get this DNA testing from things that were touched in soil samples so that they could figure out what their heritage was. There's been other interactions with the Sentinelese people. Not all of them have been successful. In fact, none of them except the one with Madamala. And they've all resulted in death, unfortunately. The first was in 1880 by British officers, where they kidnapped 4 of their children and, a couple and 4 of their children. The couple ended up dying, and they eventually returned the children. But obviously that's horrifying and probably set the stage for how they feel about, outsiders coming near their island.
So you said a couple and the kids. Was that the British or was that the islanders?
Oh, no. The British took a family from the island. So it was
okay.
And 4 children. They took them from the island. And then that couple passed away.
Oh,
I'm assuming they got sick.
So that's what you mean when it's set the stage for, yeah, I would rather not have people come here if they're going to steal our people.
Right. It's not hard to do.
Of course, it kind of reminds me of the last episode we did with island people, but good Lord, leave them alone.
Yeah. And then it's the same song that we've heard forever. The Brits went there and they were like, oh, these savages. We have to teach them how to be civilized.
And kill those poor children's parents. Good job.
Yeah. And so it's really, honestly, if you think of it, the first story I've heard where the indigenous people were not persecuted and their land taken from them. Today they exist, and the Indian government loves them and cares for them and protects them. And it's like, oh, maybe there's a smidgy-bidgy of humanity in this world, right? Yeah, I'll kind of talk about the love and care that the Indian government gives to them later. But so, yeah, moving forward, the second interaction was with Madhumala, which, I already told you about, which was cool and successful, but risky, of course. Then the third was actually in 2006. For me, that wasn't too long ago, although it was. It was actually unintentional by 2 fishermen when their boat drifted too close to the island, and then the tribal men killed them. After this happened is when the Indian government cracked down on the 5 nautical mile no contact zone. And it became clear that the Sentinelese people, they just wanted to be left alone. If just innocent fishermen drifted ashore and they're killing them, like, how about we just leave them alone, right? So good on the Indian government. Then the 4th interaction was actually in 2018 by an American idiot, in my opinion, who was attempting to evangelize Christianity to them. Yeah. And it's a quite disgusting story because he paid local fishermen to take him out there. And he actually tried for several days to make contact. All the while, they're like shooting arrows at him.
So.
Then finally, after several days, they killed him and buried his body on the coast of the island. So there he goes. He gets to live there. So, shame on the American and then shame on the fisherman. Like, what the heck? In my mind, these fishermen were locals, obviously. Like, they know. More so those fishermen. These people want to be left alone. You know how special they are. Why would you? But,
Yep.
people, what they'll do for money.
Right.
They don't care. They're like,
It's always
okay, I'll
money.
take. Good luck, sir. I mean, I don't blame them for money. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're that dumb, then I'll take your money.
But also, even if they kill this man and bury him on the coastline, they're still touching this body of this diseased
And they
white
don't
person.
understand
You know
that,
what I mean?
probably.
Like, they could get really sick. I mean, and maybe they do. I think they might, actually, to be
True.
honest, but I mean, that's the best bet they have
that's
with
what
the
would explain
circumstances.
burying him then. Like, they don't want
But-
his body being so you're probably right. Like, we got to
Right.
get rid of this. And probably maybe that's what they do with the pig too. Like,
Yeah.
this is a foreign object. We got to bury this so
Yeah.
nobody gets contaminated. I mean, that makes sense. That's smart.
Yeah. You're going to find out these people.
I was sorry. I did
are
not mean
very
that by the
intelligent.
comment at all. So, I mean, obviously, they're smart enough to be like, you come here, so I get it.
Yeah. Exactly. They're like wonderful, loving tribe. They're very close knit, and they care. Like, obviously, this woman came to their island, and they were like, "Oh, a woman!" They love their women and they protect their women. So to further emphasize that these people have no need for the outside world, they actually knew that the 2004 tsunami was coming for them.
Wow.
The Sentinelese people did. It struck the Bay of Bengal and caused considerable damage to the island, and actually lifted the entire island about 1 to 2 meters, which is about 3 to 6 feet. When the island lifted, it enlarged, and it also destroyed reefs that were close by that provided fishing lagoons for the tribe. The Indian government, the Coast Guard, they set off to go check on these people, right? They're like, oh my gosh, this little itty bitty island in the middle of the bay. So they went and flew helicopters over, and they found that the tribal members were on high ground and their tribe was intact. They actually were shooting arrows at the helicopters. So
yeah,
they were like,
of course they were.
I just imagine these helicopters flying over, and they're like, oh yay, they're shooting arrows at us. Our sweet Sentinelese, they're okay.
Yeah.
We love you. So they've survived on this island for many, many, many years. This isn't their first natural disaster, so they don't need the modern world to survive, clearly. But when I was reading that story, I also thought of my kitty. She's not a full-grown cat yet. She's still a kitten, so she loves to play. And sometimes we just want to love her and pet her, but she never does. She wants to hunt and kill and bite. And I call her my little Sentinelese kitty because I love her so much and she's so mean to me. I have an understanding. It's okay, baby. I love you. You're feeling good. You're biting me. It's a good girl.
Oh.
But yeah, that's all I have. There's just not much more information about them, which is beautiful and wonderful because we're leaving them be and letting them.
Did they ever get
live on their
pictures?
island.
That's one of the, of course. Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah. There are pictures of, some of them where they're just on the coastline, being warriors. And there are pictures of
handing the coconut. Oh, cool.
Handing coconuts to them. Yeah. And she wasn't, the pictures show that she's out in the water handing these coconuts to them. And it looks like she's out there by herself, but she's not there. There are other men nearby, but she was the peace offering, basically. She was their contact. And I trusted them. I think the second time she went, she was actually on ground on the island. I think because it looks like there's photos of her holding a baby. So real trust.
Wow.
But she only went twice, and
yeah, I mean that's don't press your luck, and at least she was smart about it, unlike the American.
Well, I don't think she was smart about it. The government ordered no more people going. I think she did want to continue. I mean, how could you not? These people are amazing, and and they didn't want to kill you. How special would you feel then? But I think it was mostly just disease, and also just respecting them.
Yeah, it's nice to hear a story like this, because I feel kind of is this the norm? It should be. It should be the norm to leave them alone. But it isn't, unfortunately. We keep, like I said, which we repeated, even when I had my episode about the Rapa Nui, it's same story over and over again. So this is not the typical story. And they've been there for 60,000 years, way longer than some of the other, the other island I talked about. But there has been studies. I was just kind of reading, internet. So disclaimer, don't know if it's true, but there's evidence that maybe even the Native Americans in the United States have been here since 60,000 years ago. They kind of did the same thing. What you're talking about, the tribe, what do they call the Sentinelese?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
No, that's okay. It's
Sentinelese. Okay, thank you. It's the same kind of thing that they've been in the U.S. soil since 60,000 years ago, that they've been there even longer than we thought.
And also it's kind of the same story too, because they think that they crossed the land bridge above Alaska from Asia and came down. At least that's what I learned like in fourth grade when I was learning about Native Americans. Maybe they've learned more new stuff now, but I remember that.
It's nice to hear that we haven't disturbed that island as much as we've disturbed everything else in this whole world. So
especially in this modern world, like it makes me think there's hope that we're actually not repeating history, because with many other things we are. That we've learned that wiping out indigenous people is not a
I think there's
idea.
like maybe I'll have to look it up, but I could be wrong, and it may have changed, because this is my knowledge from 20 some years ago, that there was tribes deep in either Mexico or South America. I want to say the Mayan area, which would be more central in Mexico, where there is tribes that are kind of same as the one you're speaking of, is where they go in and they just kill you. You can't. And even I think, I don't know. I'd have to look it up, but there is some out there that it's kind of like that too. But there's probably been more people, because it's not an island. So people are going to keep trying to go there, and eventually maybe somebody gets through to them. I don't know.
I don't remember what country it is, but I know that there's drilling rigs in this country, and the drilling rigs have really, really high fences all around them with razor wire on top to keep cannibals out. So I would imagine that those tribes were probably pretty well cut off from the rest of the world. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Remember when
I forget where it's at. I'm not even going to give guess.
I've heard of that too. That's funny, because I just remember reading that when I was looking stuff up, I don't know, years ago, when I got...
you get paid a lot if you drill there.
There you go. I think remember, Laura, when we went to Colombia, when we went hiking, they talked about, when we went to the Lost City, Ciudad Perdida, where we were hiking, they talked about people living up there, and we see some, we saw some of them, remember? I thought that was really, but we had to respect their distance.
Yeah, but
they were curious about us.
Yeah, but they were very, very clean, wearing brand new shoes. I think part of that might have been show. That's what I thought when I was seeing them. I was like, don't look like you live in
and they
the
wanted to
forest.
meet us.
But but they do live there though, because when I was in Costa Rica, there's howler monkeys everywhere, and they'll come like real close to you. They're not afraid, and they're little monkeys that sound like big giant gorillas. But when we were in Colombia, the howler monkeys did stay away. They didn't come close. They were real, real far away. And they said because the native people would eat them.
I remember that because because I really wanted to see them
there.
And you're like, oh yeah, they're everywhere. And then I think we saw a few animals. I was more worried about big cats, because that's just my fear of, cougars here in the U.S. So panthers are same. Yeah. So it was kind of, I was like, I don't care about monkey. I'm more afraid of cats, but didn't see any of that either.
Yeah. But what about that monkey that
they don't.
Skin
they're not friendly. They don't get in their bubble. So I always think about
what language. Sorry, Heather. What language do they know the language that they speak?
Yeah, that's a good question, and I was trying to figure that out. So I don't know.
In the 60,000 years, are they just basing it around the surrounding islands and just assuming they were all populated at the same time?
Well, also the genetic testing.
Oh,
because they knew they were from mainland Asia, so they were just assuming that it was when the water was low and
interesting. Sorry,
all that jazz. I think they just kind of put puzzle pieces together with the information.
Going back to the tsunami, I figured that you would have touched on this, but were they able to, with the coral reef, I'm assuming they were still able to fish or they don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, they're still alive today, so I'm assuming they're fishing and they've adapted. Well, from what I read, it was like I think it was the northwest side of the island. One section of the island grew more than the other. It's not like it all came up evenly and perfectly, kind of. It's a volcano, I'm assuming, right? And so they gained about a mile on that section. That's where it killed the lagoons, which I think is where most of their lagoons were, but I don't think that all of them were damaged. It's just like a big portion of them. And so they're able to fish.
Worried about like their fresh water because, I don't know how much it gets contaminated by ocean water, but I have no idea what the island looks like. So it's just was curiosity more than anything. Oh,
they have a lot of coconuts on the island, so at least that's what they think.
Well, they're still alive, like you said.
So I think they would get a lot of it from there. They figured out, I mean, I'm sure this isn't the first tsunami that's hit in 60,000 years.
How scary. I'm so glad it didn't wipe it out because, in other parts where the tsunami hit, I mean, when we went to Phuket, I mean, it was, 10 years after, and it was still a bunch of destruction. Remember when we were taking the taxi down and they like kind of hide it? And you're like, oh my gosh. So.
Yeah. Or when we were on the bus and they were
the tsunami movie. I swear that was a sick
I forget
joke.
the name of it.
I swear they did that on purpose.
What the heck? Yeah, we're driving on a bus to Phuket, and they have these little TVs in the back of the seats, so you can watch TV in front of you, and they play the movie. I wish I remember the
tsunami,
name of it. The Hollywood movie
tsunami
about the tsunami that hit Thailand.
And we were there in 2013, so it was not even 10 years after.
Yeah, it was 2004.
That was so funny. And I remember waking, because that's when I got cold. Remember, I got a cold when I was there. And I woke up and I look out the window and we are literally on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. And there's just, maybe I'm exaggerating, but maybe 3 feet away from just jungle on both sides of us. I think you might have been sleeping. I just woke up and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go back to sleep and hope I survive that. I remember one time, I think on that bus,
somewhere dangerous.
I don't know, maybe it was South America because we traveled. Didn't we get on one time and because people joke around that people bring their chickens on the bus, and literally somebody brought a chicken on the bus. I want to say it was Thailand.
Oh, I have no idea.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's true. They do bring their chickens. Not sure. Yeah, I think they were
like in a cage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not a lot of people have their, own transportation. Like it doesn't. Yeah,
they're probably taking it
to
sell it somewhere, I'd assume. But I just remember the bus down to Phuket. It was kind of cool outside of those two things that we talked about because there was so much variety of people. I really liked that. And then on the bus back, well, no, it wasn't just tourists. It was like locals. It seemed like they were traveling too. And then on the way back, remember we had the more bougie bus when we returned to Bangkok, and it was like recliners. Even though we didn't pay any more, the way our transportation differed from going there versus coming back, they just were like, put them on that bus. And I was like, oh, we got snacks, and we didn't have to watch that movie.
I remember, I think it was when we got off the plane and we were trying to get to where we needed to go. I don't know. We were getting off a bus and we just saw this random taxi like off to the side away.
I think that was
all
Phuket.
The tourist sheep were going the other direction. And we went and we asked him if he could give us a ride. And it looks like he was eating lunch or something. And he was so eager to give us a ride and so grateful. And we got in and he was so happy that when he stopped at the red light, he got out and ran into a 7-Eleven and got us
that was Bangkok.
A snack and a drink and brought it back. I remember sitting in his car looking at the light and it's like gonna turn green. And we're like, what is he doing? Where did he go? When is he coming back? What is happening? And he comes back with treats and we were like, but that's just the Thai culture to like serve and love and care for guests. And it was kind of one of our first interactions, I thought. Maybe my mind is deceiving me, but man, it set the standard for traveling to other countries. I was like, I'm coming back to Thailand.
I think it was when we actually came back from Phuket, because what we noticed, because we had gone to different islands, different parts of Thailand, and you get off the bus or whatever, and you're just bombarded by, let me get you where you're going. Let me get you where you're going. And we just got sick of it. because it was just so in your face. And I think by that time, that was like our last few days in Thailand where our tolerance for tourism in our face. And so we went off the beaten path because we're like, we're not dealing with this. And we just found that guy. I think you found him. You're like, hey, let's go to him. Like, hey, that's a great idea. And it was like half the price. Not that that was about the price, but it was the fact that the other gentlemen were so aggressive towards us to use their taxi service. So I'm assuming there's some kind of conflict between the taxi services. So I think that's what it was, if I remember right.
I don't know. Well, it looked like he was having lunch too. So I wasn't, I think he was just grateful to, like, he wasn't expecting to give a ride. And then it was like, you know.
Yeah, he was getting some crabby women at the end of their Thailand experience. So we're like, we're not giving them any money. I'm tired of them in my face. I remember the one time where, remember how they put menus in our face? And you like smacked them.
Yes.
You just had enough. It was like,
well, we were walking and they just cut you off, and
I loved it. Nice. I thought it was great.
But yeah, it was hard. It was hard being in Phuket. I would not recommend Phuket. It's kind of like the Las Vegas of Thailand.
Yeah.
Bangkok was fun. That was kind of like old Las Vegas, just a big party on a strip. But we were spoiled because we had a friend there. And when we first came, she picked us up from the airport and took us to her mom's farm and beautiful beaches and quiet people.
That was the best part. So was going to her hometown.
Really, really beautiful.
I don't think you were awake yet. I think I was out in front of her house drinking some coffee, and there was a woman across the street that had a big slab of beef or lamb or I don't know what. And she was like, hey, you want me to cut you off a slice? You want to buy some? Like, what am I going to do with the big chunk of meat? But it was so sweet. She's like, hey, you want to buy this? I was like, I don't know, but thank you. But it was kind of funny because I love that local.
Yeah.
Remember the monks came by? That was really cool too.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we were walking down the road, it was just me and you for some reason. I don't remember why. We were going to go have lunch. Maybe Yanni was with us. Anyhow, we were walking down the road and a school bus drove by with kids like going to or coming from school. And they saw these big, giant white women. It was stuck out like a sore thumb because we're not in like the touristy part of Thailand. We're like in her hometown. And they saw us and the windows were rolled down because it was hot. And all the kids stuck their heads out and waved to us and said in English, hello. Like 30 little kids waving and saying hello to adorable. Us. It was so sweet. It was pretty exciting.
That was a good time.
What are you doing here?
That was the best part, I think, is going to her hometown and then her taking us to the beach that wasn't too far from her house where we kind of had the whole beach to ourselves because it was off season because we were in the hottest season. hot.
And then her mom, the fruit wasn't completely ripe yet, but her mom grew durian. And then what's that fruit that looks like a strawberry, but you cut it open?
Is it lychee?
Like white fruit in it.
I don't know if that's.
I can't remember.
Lychee. And then mango steam.
Lychee. I think that's what I was going to say, but I wasn't sure. We did get to eat that like right off the tree. She like cut it open with her pocket knife. The stuff they sell in the stores is crap. Yeah, and the mangosteens, remember those? I never knew what mangosteen looked like growing. It's not what you think it is. Because it was good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I'm not a
fruit.
fan of the tulian. Yuck. It's the smell that got me.
Yeah.
Durian, there we go. Sorry.
The durian. Durian. Yeah.
I do.
I don't remember the smell, but I don't know. Maybe it had a stuffy nose. I'm not sure.
It actually had a good flavor. Kind of if I could just get past the other sense of it, it was just hard. But yeah. Sorry, Rebecca. We're kind of just talking about our travels. Rebecca's not feeling well.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm just
anyways. Yeah, I got off track. Sorry. Now people know a little bit about our travels and that we could go on for hours about.
A little bit about Thailand. Yeah, Thailand's fun. I recommend it. It's a good time. I'm glad I went when I was young because now that I'm older, I don't know if I've had the energy for Thailand.
There's the guy dancing in the rain. That was funny. This is the warmest shower I've had since I've been here. That was funny.
Yes. And we celebrated the 4th of July with two British boys.
Telling them we kicked your
4th of July.
We kicked your butt.
4th of July.
Just rubbing it in.
Oh, it was funny. It was all good fun.
I think that we
were having a good time.
Yeah, I remember
drinking beer and smoking
saying
hookah.
Like Happy 4th of July all night, and nobody answered us until finally there was an American that was Happy 4th of July because there's just not a lot of Americans that go there. It's funny. No, we were
not
obnoxious.
on 4th of July. Anyway.
What's new?
Yeah, everyone thought we were Russian. because a lot of Russian people traveled to Thailand and we were white, and so we were Russian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would try to say a few words to us in Russian, and we're like, no, sorry.
No, I'm American, sorry. English.
Right.
Yes. One cool fact about Thailand that I thought was really cute was in Thailand, when it's your birthday, they sing happy birthday to you in English, just like we do. Because we were at that dinner and it was somebody's birthday. And we were like, oh, what do they do for birthdays? And then they start singing happy birthday to you. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is not culture.
That's
in English.
I just remember the hot dogs on pizza. Like you go to Pizza Hut and it's not pepperoni slices, it's little hot dog slices. They love hot dogs of all sizes and shapes.
Yeah. If you get breakfast,
not sausage,
order it with
you
bacon.
get little hot dogs. I made that mistake.
It'll be a hot dog.
They were still good. It was fine. But I made sure I got bacon from there on forward. But I just remember, whenever we have pictures of it, I just remember like seeing the Pizza Hut and being like, what? Hot dogs? Yeah.
It's so funny.
And then they had fried chicken at their Burger Kings and McDonald's. And it was like that in South America too, remember?
Yeah.
They really...
Yes. Lots of fried chicken.
I don't think I ever ate any.
Fried chicken. Which I found out I was pregnant when we were in Ecuador, and I was grateful for that.
I don't think I ever ate it, but I liked the French fries.
That's about
French fries with everything.
Stomach.
South America.
Yeah. I remember walking out of our hostel, and it was like every single afternoon, and I'm pregnant and I'm nauseous, and they're frying chicken feet on the barbecue right outside our hostel. So it's like the first thing I see. I'm like,
always trying to sell it to us too. We're like,
oh gosh, no, I'm not eating chicken feet. It's not healthy for my child.
I heard it's really tender. Supposedly, I've never eaten it, so yeah.
I'm gonna believe you on that one.
It's kind of like pig's feet. And Grandpa used to eat pig's feet.
I don't
nope,
find out.
I'll pass, Grandpa. I mean, that went in poop probably a lot. I don't care.
Yeah.
Why does everything lead back to poop? Why?
I'm glad things aren't being wasted, but I don't want to. I don't want to eat.
If I was starving, I would. I'll eat anything.
Of course.
But until then, no. All right. Sorry.
So, well, you're welcome for the history lesson on Thailand, at least 2013 history.
Seems like it was yesterday, but it wasn't.
You know, those were good times traveling. But yes, love learning about other cultures and how they exist, and it's pretty amazing. And let's make North Sentinel Island our new norm. Let's treat people with respect. Let's give them their space. Let's love them, understand them, and don't judge them. So,
thanks, Lora.
Thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.